late stream of Lost Records was a hideous disaster, and I don't actually mean like my stream, I mean the game. Lost Records is, I'm going to say this now, and a lot of people have issue with this, I don't care. Lost Records is by far the absolute worst narrative-based choose-your-own-adventure style game I have ever played on YouTube or for content creation in general. It was really awful. Like, I was waiting for the big redeeming qualities. I was waiting for the twist. I was waiting for the interesting part to happen. There is no interesting part. Tape 1 of Lost Records Bloom and Rage is about 8 hours long, roughly. And during that 8 hours, you spend about 7 hours bullshitting with a bunch of teenage girls who have bad personalities, poorly written dialogue, and are boring as fucking dirt. The game is trying to act like they're interesting when they're not. They're just not. They don't have interesting backstories. They don't have interesting personalities. I don't even know what Autumn's personality is. They didn't even develop it. At least the other 3 girls did. One of the characters doesn't even have a fucking personality. Okay? It's just bad. It's like, hey, so we decided to make a game, and we're going to really do something different. We're going to have it be about a bunch of teenage girls who want to live free and not by the confines of society and what they say they should be. And they're free to experiment with their sexuality, and they could all have crushes on each other. So they're all bisexual, right? And then they're going to want to be in a garage band, but none of them can sing or play instruments. And then they're going to go out to the woods inexplicably for no reason. And then they hang out at a cabin, but nothing actually happens of any interest. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, the game is just a game for the sake of saying they made a game that was like about liberal teenage girls or whatever, but it has no value. There's no substance to the game. They keep teasing that something supernatural is going to happen, and to that extent, something supernatural does happen, but nothing, it doesn't amount to anything. Like, it doesn't actually turn into anything interesting. It's just, did that happen or not? We don't know. Oh, let's go do a fucking rock concert that's not really a rock concert. And then, to make matters even worse, all right, they actually attempt a crazy, shocking, dramatic twist spin ending to the tape 1, the first episode, and it falls so flat, I missed it, and the chat had to tell me. All right? I'm sorry. I'm just going to fucking spoil this bullshit because it sucks. All right? No one needs to play this game. So these girls decide out of nowhere on a whim, they want to break into the local diner bar, and they want to steal equipment, and they want to hook it up to the electricity, and they want to set up a bunch of music instruments and play a concert outside of the bar, despite the fact no one at the bar wants to hear it. And obviously everyone at the bar is going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not a band. You're terrible. Why are you doing this out here on private property? So they do this. They start playing the music, okay? And all the bar patrons who are drunk and just trying to relax come out and are all pissy with them. And it becomes this giant, like drunken shouting match. Like, they're trying to make the bar patrons look like they're bad people because they were just trying to drink at a bar and didn't want to hear a bunch of shitty, idiot teenager girls screaming outside. It literally sounds like someone's taking their fingernails and are going down a chalkboard. And they're like, oh yeah, this is good music. And no, it's not. No, it's not. Not at all. It's awful. Okay? So then they get into this big fight, and one of the girls starts freaking out and acting really weird. And then all of a sudden she gets a nosebleed, and then the game's like, oh, she has leukemia. Oh. Did you forget to mention that? In the 8+ hours you were playing the game? Oh. Surprise, leukemia. What a twist. Great writing. No, it's not great writing. It's awful. It's bad. It's really shitty. It wasn't good at all. I was like, what? So that was supposed to be the twist, is that one of the girls, okay, is really like angsty, angry, and hates the world. She curses the world with witchcraft and is angry and wants vengeance, but you don't really know what she wants vengeance for. And then at the end, you find out, well, she has leukemia and she's dying. So that's why she's so angry at the world. And no one knew. Like, she didn't tell anyone. I had to play 8 hours of the most boring game ever just to get that as the narrative twist. Like, and the thing is, it's such a cheap attempt because obviously you're supposed to now feel bad. Like, oh my God, she's dying or whatever. It's like, yeah, but it's a game. The whole point is it was supposed to be a game. It was supposed to be something that was entertaining and fun, and no point is it entertaining or fun. You just get a bunch of plot that goes absolutely nowhere, and then the twist is, oh, surprise, leukemia. Oh, well, now I feel bad. No, I feel bad that I played it. I feel bad that I bought it. I don't feel bad that you wrote poorly and you think that that's a good plot. It's not at all. You know, that's not character development, you know? So, no exaggeration, it's one of the worst games I've played as a content creator. It's definitely the worst choose your own adventure style game I've ever played. It is not worth anyone's time whatsoever. It's like I said previous, if you want to play a game, the whole idea of a video game is that you're escaping reality so that you can get sucked into a fantasy situation and there's enjoyment there, right? When I play Street Fighter, it's because in real life, I'm not actually a trained fighter who can go into the streets and beat the shit out of everyone. I can't throw fire out of my hands and say Hadouken, right? When I play Call of Duty, it's because I know in real life I'm not a highly trained military operative that can fly across the globe to fight against another group of operatives with high-tech gadgets and gizmos and blow shit up, but it's fun to pretend, right? When I play Zelda, I know that I'm not a feminine dude with elf-like ears who has the power of magic and arrows and the master sword, and I'm trying to slay, Octoroks and shit. I can't do that in real life. The idea is that you're removing yourself from the banality and boringness of your real life or the stress of your real life to go into a fantasy situation so you can have fun. That's the point of video games. Literally, Lost Records is, let's just make the most boring, banal, meaningless, crappy game with the most uninteresting, poorly written characters, the worst dialogue, the most awful plot. A game for the sake of saying we made a game and want money. There's no other reason for this game to exist. It doesn't have a purpose. It's not entertaining. It's not fun. It doesn't tell an interesting, dramatic story. It doesn't tread any new ground. It's just a waste of your time. 8 hours, and you pay to waste 8 hours of your time. That's the worst part. It's not even a Game Pass game. Yes, it's worse than Life is Strange 2. For sure, it's worse than Life is Strange 2. Because at least in Life is Strange 2, there is this element of superpowers. And even though the writing in Life is Strange 2 is cringe and bad, and it has a lot of leftist themes that get shoved down your throat, making you think every white person in America is a racist, there are some funny moments. There is some drama. There is some twists and turns, like what's going to happen with the kids with superpowers. There is some interest to be had. There is no interest at all in Lost Records. You can literally sleep through the fucking game and you're fine. I wish I actually had a pillow. I mean, I literally brought this animation into my setup to play Lost Records. Get it? Like, I added this animation because there were so many boring parts. And no, before you say it's free on PSN, it's not. You have to have that PSN premium shit, which no one really needs in order to get it on there. So anyway, man, it was bad. So anyway, I'm happy that it's done, but the bummer is it's not. There's a tape 2. There's a second half. It was hilarious because it ended and I was like, so that's it, right? And they're like, no, tape 2 coming in April. I'm like, why? Like, why? If you just ended it like right now, we're done. It's fine. You don't need to continue that. There's no reason to continue this plot. There's no interest in it. It's bad. You're just torturing your audience by making the tape 2. They should just cancel the tape 2. No, I mean it. Like, they should just not release it. Just fuck it. Yes, it would be a big ripoff because people paid for a full game and you'd only get half. But you're better off just playing the first half and never wasting your time on the second half. I can't believe how bad that was. It's just like, would you like to prolong your suffering further with the most boring game ever made? Tape 2 coming in April. Oh, good. Back to torture. It's like you were trapped in a dungeon and you couldn't get out, and you finally got out, and they're like, well, go right back in and just walk in willingly next month. Enjoy. Right? It's like maybe you have Stockholm syndrome or something. I don't know. But I can't imagine why anyone would want to play more of that game. I mean, holy shit. I can't get over how bad it was. I was just waiting. There's going to be something worth doing. There's going to be something worth our time. There was nothing worth the time. I just, oh my God. And then they complain about modern game development. Like, see, the market's oversaturated and games don't sell anymore. Meanwhile, Monster Hunter Wild sold over 8 million copies in like 4 days, right? But we're going to sit here and complain about how we can't sell our games. Well, then make good games. Did you think about that? Did you ever think that in order to sell a product, the product actually needs to have value to a customer? It's like the basis of business eludes these people who make games in the modern era. But I don't understand. I made the game. Why didn't anyone buy it? Because your game's a piece of shit. It's a smelly piece of fucking donkey doo. No one wants to play it. That's why you can't make money. I just don't get it. How do you not understand it? Games are selling. Hogwarts Legacy, out of nowhere, comes out of left field and beats Call of Duty 2 years ago. Monster Hunter Wilds, a bestseller. Modern Resident Evil selling like fucking hotcakes. Tons of indie games are blowing it up. But why doesn't my game sell? Because you suck. Because you have no originality, no talent. You can't write. You can't develop. You suck. Stop making bad games. Then people will give you money. Oh my God. Anyway. All right. I've said enough. Lost Records sucked ass. And it sucked ass so bad, it killed our momentum entirely yesterday. We had a stream where I hit almost 3 goals, and then last night I made like $40. And by the way, most of that was made after I stopped playing the game and just hung out with people for like 40 minutes. The game was awful, all right? So I'm probably not going to be playing Tape 2 in April, just to forewarn you. The only way I would ever play Tape 2 in April is if, like, people will say, dude, just so you know, they actually redeemed themselves. Tape 2 was ridiculously better than Tape 1, and you should play it. You're missing out if you're not. That's the only way I would play Tape 2. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to come out, and everyone's going to be like, yeah, it still sucks. So, there you go. Okay. All right. Some quick shout-outs here. I received a $5 tip